All right. Welcome to my beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, I could keep going, wife, Kathleen, the woman that I respect more than any person in this entire world, and the person that makes me each and every day want to be a better man. And I don't say that lightly, boo. I truly, every day, have motivation to want to get up and want to be of service to your heart. And my life would not feel nearly as fulfilled if I didn't have you by my side. I so deeply honor you and I so deeply respect you. So I know that you're going to bring us another gift and talk to us today about from feeling like a zero to becoming her hero. So take it away.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And guys, it's great to be here with you. And I want you to know that I am more than David's wife. I am also a leader, speaker, and relationship and intimacy expert for about 16, 17 years now. I've lost count. But this is my zone of genius of helping you understand how to be successful in a relationship, how to cultivate long lasting, fulfilling love that you deserve. So it's been my honor in the last 5, 6 years or so to turn my focus to the Man on Fire community and work side by side with my husband and give you guys the tools to be successful with your women because we are complicated and it is challenging if you don't have tools, if you don't have understanding and insight into the inner workings of our heart and our minds. So if you want success in love, you've got to pump energy in. You've got to learn to grow yourself. You've got to be willing to look at your blind spots. You've got to be willing to look at your patterns that are contributing to you having or not having what you want in your relationship. So it's been my passion to illuminate that for men and to really turn my attention to helping you guys get it at a more deep level of how you can have what you desire and how you can have the love, the affection, the admiration, and the respect of your woman at the level that you really want to have. So, we're going to be talking today about another really important topic. I hear really often from the men that I'm working with that they feel unsuccessful. And we're being playful in the way that we named today's topic. We called it From Zero to Hero. You guys have all heard that one before. But zero is not, you're not a zero, right? I don't mean it like that. It's the feeling of feeling unsuccessful with your woman, like feeling like you can't get it right, feeling like you always get it wrong, feeling like even when you try, she criticizes you, or like, why should I even bother? Because she's just going to break me down. She's either making you wrong or criticizing you or undermining you. So it's like there's no point in trying or putting the energy in because she's just going to reject your efforts and you're going to feel like a zero, right? So it's like that internal feeling of feeling like you don't know what else to do or where else to turn, but you're not happy and you know that what you have been doing isn't working. So instead of that, we want you to be able to feel like the hero and define what that is for yourself, but the hero is when you feel successful in your relationship. You feel like she loves you and appreciates you and respects you, and there's affection, and there's a positive flow of energy, and there's ease, and there's laughter, and there's passion, and there's joy, and there's beautiful intimacy. So you deserve to have that. You deserve to be the hero in the eyes of your woman, where she looks to you for guidance. She leans on you. She comes to you. She counts on you. She depends on you. She wants your help and your advice and your insight and your support. And I know that makes you feel successful, right? Where it's like, your woman is coming to you before and above anybody else, even before herself, that she values you that much. She believes in you that much. She trusts in you that much. So we want to empower you to understand, how do these different dynamics happen, right? Like, how do you get yourself in a situation where you're feeling unsuccessful or like a zero? Or how do you create a situation where you can feel like a hero, where you can feel successful and you can feel that level of love and admiration that you desire and that you deserve? So before you can move into what you want, it's really important to first take inventory of how you got where you're currently at. You have to understand what got you into this position. So in my work with men over the years, what I've noticed is that there's three common things that contribute to your lack of success with your woman. Okay? So it's not like your woman just decides like, "Oh, he's a zero," or "Oh, I'm not going to lean on him." It's not like a decision point that she arrives at. It's something that slowly happens over time. Because more likely than not, in the beginning of the relationship, you probably did experience feeling like her hero. You probably did experience feeling successful and feeling positive and feeling good and feeling fulfilled. So, what changed? What's different about who you're being now versus who you were being then? What's different about the energy you're pumping in now and where your focus is now and what you're valuing now versus what you did then? So if you're going to go from zero to hero, it's time to get humble, right? It's time to take inventory. It's time to look within and see where you're responsible, where you're accountable. And you're not accountable alone. Your woman is also accountable. But she's not here at this moment to listen and to look at herself and grow herself. Luckily, you are, and I celebrate that. I celebrate that you chose to be here to get some insight and to choose to grow yourself. Kudos to you. We need more men like you on the planet. Keep going with that, please. Keep growing yourself and being willing to look at yourself. So let me give you some support with this, right? Of how you get in the position of, from feeling like a hero, now you're feeling like a zero. You're feeling unsuccessful. So the first thing that happens, guys, that starts to move you down the scale in your woman's eyes from her hero and her everything to like this undependable guy, where she doesn't lean on you and then therefore you feel unsuccessful. The number one thing that contributes to this is that you stop leading. Okay? You stop leading. And this has to do with you stop being that source of strength. You stop being that source of dependability. You stop being steady. You stop being plugged into a level where you're tracking what's going on and you're able to guide your woman. You're able to make suggestions. And I want to have a little sidebar about this quickly. When I'm talking about you stopping leading, I'm not suggesting that you should be the only leader in the relationship. It's 2022. And women are powerful too. And we are leaders too. So I'm not talking about outdated gender roles where the man should be in charge. That's not this. When I'm talking about leading, I'm talking about you owning your inner leader, where you're confident and you trust yourself and you speak the truth and you speak what needs to be spoken into the space and you stand for your wife when stuff comes up for her. You're there for her. You help her see the bigger picture, or you help her see ways that she may be sabotaging herself or patterns that she may be getting into on her own, because we all have patterns that get in the way and keep us from creating the fulfillment that we really crave. And when you stop leading, it's like you stop giving her that gift of your masculine energy. Okay? And your masculine energy is that part of you that is steady, that is guiding and directing and leading and tracking, that's, really mindful about what's the best solution, what's the best outcome. And when you leave that position vacant, you essentially stop leading. And oftentimes what I see is that instead of leading, you start deflecting and deferring. So instead, you start to look to her to lead. You start to look to her to make decisions or to track things or to, keep everything accountable or to figure things out. Like you look to her, you ask her questions all the time, or you depend on her, or just like deflect the responsibilities to her. And when you do this, what's going on at a deeper level, what I've seen with men, and this is through experience and working with men one-to-one over the years in the Man on Fire community, is that when you stop leading, you've stopped trusting in your ability to confront the deeper conversations with your woman. You've stopped trusting, or maybe you never fully trusted, your ability to navigate your woman's upsets or the feelings that come with being in a relationship with a woman. So instead of showing up in your masculine strength and clarity and stability, instead, what I've seen happen is that men start to operate more out of fear or more out of their wound. So the wounded side of a man is when he becomes more like a pleaser, or he's just trying to like get it right and like check the box off and be a yes man and just like make her happy. But there's no backbone. There's no spine. There's no saying like, but babe, this isn't right. Or honey, like here's what I know the family really needs. Or sweetheart, I'm hearing that you really want this and this is important to you, but I have to put the well-being of the family first. And I want to invite you to see this perspective because I know this is actually going to serve us more than this other thing that you're wanting. So when you're not standing in that space and instead you're just trying to like, make her happy by like checking all the boxes of like what she wants you to do and being that yes man pleaser energy. First of all, to your woman, guys, I'm just going to tell it to you straight, like it's repulsive. It's like, we want your manhood, we want your strength, we want your backbone. Because when you give us your manhood and your strength and your backbone and that masculinity, we feel like, oh, okay, cool. Like I don't have to be the leader all the time, right? Like I don't have to have it together all the time. I don't have to like man up. Because when you're not leading, your woman's going to step into that position. And yeah, she's a leader on her own, but like, how can you both come together as healthy leaders, right? And then understanding like how to vacillate in your energies to be able to cultivate passion and cultivate intimacy. That's a journey we take men through in the Man on Fire community, is understanding how to balance those energies. But for right now, I want to help you understand that when you stop leading, she's going to step up, and that's going to translate to her being more controlling and more demanding and more in her head, and then less emotionally available. You're going to feel her less because she feels like she has to man up, and she's going to go into an I've got it mode. Like, don't need you. You're all for help. And she's like, nope, got it. No, thanks, got it. Nope, I've got it. You guys have probably experienced that. And then you just stop asking or you stop offering because she doesn't want your help. And that's painful because the gift of being a man is offering your service to the woman and it being received, right? Her receiving the gift of your service. Like that's such a beautiful gift that men have to give to women. So when you stop leading, you go into, fear-based mode or wound-based mode. It can also show up as you being like more like a little boy, who wants mommy's validation or wants to get it right, wants to get the gold stars. That's not healthy. We know that that's not a healthy dynamic, and intimacy and passion don't grow from that type of soil. And it can also look like steamrolling. If you're not doing the yes man pleaser thing or you're not doing the little boy wound, maybe you're steamrolling where, you're like pseudo leading and where you just like railroad her or don't want to hear what she has to say. And you just make unilateral decisions, but they're not fully from a place of being online, body, mind, and spirit. Your heart's not in it. It's just like heady unilateral decisions. Here's how I see it. Here's what's happening. And that's not healthy either. That's not your true, empowered, authentic self. So when you get in this habit of stopping leading, it encourages your woman to step into that energy. And when she's stepping into more of her masculine strength, you're going to fall into more of your feminine energy, right? Where you are softer, where you are more sensitive, where you are less in your strength and your confidence. And there's nothing wrong with a man being connected to his feminine energy. We actually sponsor men in the Man on Fire community and understanding how beautiful it is and how important and critical it is to embrace and be connected to your feminine energy. Because your healthy feminine energy means that you're in your heart. It means that you feel. It means that you sense. It means that you're tuned in. And oh my God, that is so attractive. That's what we trust in a man. That's what we want in our man. So it's the beautiful combination of healthy masculine strength and stability and groundedness, and coming from a knowledge of knowing who you are and knowing what's right and speaking truth into the space, coupled with being dialed into your feminine side. Your heart's online, you're feeling, you're sensing, and you're valuing her feelings as well. So we want that beautiful combination from you. We want that healthy power. So the second problem that I see that happens that puts you in a position of feeling like a zero is that you get selfish. So maybe it's not you or you, but maybe it's you in the back. But this is something I see that happens with men. So let's have a piece of humble pie for a second, take some inventory and see if this might be true about you as well. But what I see what happens in relationships is that, you can get just overwhelmed. Like if number one is happening where you've stopped leading and you've stopped trusting your ability to navigate your woman's emotions or confront difficult conversations, what happens then is you drop down to a lower version of yourself where you do make it about you, where you start to take things personally all the time. You can't really hear her feedback or hear her feelings or hear her upset. You go to reactivity, you personalize it, you get your feelings hurt, it triggers you, you get angry, you get controlling. Maybe that happens for you. But what's going on when you get selfish essentially is that you stop looking out for her. Okay, you stop looking out for her in terms of how you communicate with her, what type of energy you put towards her, how you talk about her outside the relationship, how you perceive her in your mind that's unspoken, how you relate with her. So instead, maybe you've diminished her in your mind or you're criticizing her. That's essentially being selfish because you're just seeing it from your wounding, from your hurt, from your upset, from how you take it personally, how you're feeling unsuccessful or you're feeling rejected. And I get that it's valid. A lot of these hurts happen on your end too, right? Where it's like, shit, like she's being so unloving or she's cold with me or she's distant or she's so critical or so demanding. Like I understand why this happens, but it doesn't make it right. What we do at Man on Fire is help you grow into the man who can handle these situations with grace and with confidence and understand the deeper need that's going on when your wife is showing up like this, right? And that there's something going on where a need is not being met for you or for her. And it requires a deeper level of conversation. So that's possible for you. But when you're getting selfish, it's like you're dropping down from that maturity into more of an immature version of yourself. And you stop putting her heart first. So the antidote to this, guys, is, certainly to flip selfish to selfless, like to be of service to her heart. And we're going to talk more about how you can learn to do that, but that will win the most beautiful look and feeling from your wife, from your woman, where you will be her hero. You will be her everything. You will be the center of her world. Because when we feel that you're putting our heart first, and when you're bringing a reverence to how you act with us, what type of behaviors, what your standards are of how you treat us and speak about us and think about us and interface with us, you will be our hero. And that really requires you stepping into what we call your king energy. And your king energy is your mature masculine that is plugged in body, mind, and spirit, that's moved from being in your head only to being in your heart as well, who's present, who's available, who's emotionally mature. And these are things we all have to learn to grow as humans, okay? Not just guys. This is true for women too. I work with women to rise into their queen energy, which is the equivalent to the king energy. And it requires all of us be willing to do the humble work that's required to heal our shit, right? To get a little dirty, like David says, and look at the wounds and the things that we brought into the relationship, usually from childhood, and do that repair work to heal ourselves so we can grow into our potential and be our more empowered versions so you can have the fulfillment that's possible, because you can have what you dream of. You can have anything that you want, but it requires you having the courage to grow yourself. And I can tell you this personally because I have invested tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars and hours and hours and hours in seminar rooms to grow myself, because I came from an alcoholic household with verbal abuse, emotional unavailability, abandonment stuff, tons of stuff that I internalized and I took into my young adulthood, where I just attracted all the wrong men and I had my guards up and my walls up, and that could have been my destiny. But I didn't want my past to define me. I wanted to create my future, so I chose to heal myself and grow myself. So you've done that by taking the first step right now to be on this meeting, to be on this live stream, and to learn more about yourself. So I want to celebrate that, but keep it going, guys. It's worth it. The more you heal, the more you can create. The more you heal, the more you're in your power. So I don't want to miss giving you the number 3 mistake that I see that slides you down the scale from being her hero to ending up feeling like a 0. This is where you stop seeing her. You stop seeing her. And seeing is not a literal thing. So it's like, what do you mean? Like, I'm home, I look at her, like I give her eye contact. You guys know what I mean. Seeing is like you're seeing our heart. You're seeing our soul. You're seeing us beyond the labels of being a woman, a wife, a mom, a sister. You're seeing us beyond our hair color, our weight, our body. You're taking it past all the superficials that we really feel that you get us on a deeper level. And when you stop seeing us, when you stop attuning to that, when you stop naming that inner beauty, when you stop reflecting that inner beauty, when you stop, loving on a woman where we feel seen, and these are all skill sets you can learn. But when you stop doing that, when you're not paying that attention to her at a deeper level, when you're not valuing her, where she's your top priority to make sure she feels loved, to make sure she feels seen, to make sure she feels heard, when you stop doing that, you're going to slide down that scale pretty fast, because we're not going to trust you. We're not going to believe that you get us. We're not going to want to lean on you. We're not going to depend on you. We're not going to respect you, because it's like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't even see me. He doesn't even value me. So that's a really shitty feeling for a woman. And I know you experience this. I know you experience this too, where you don't feel seen and you don't feel valued. It goes both ways. But we're focusing right now on you and your responsibility in this. So what we want is, this one's obvious. We want to be seen. We want to feel that you're plugged into our hearts and you're plugged in to our deeper feeling self. So this is also something that you can learn. And David, I'm going to invite you in a moment to share a little bit more with the guys. But if I wrap all this together of how you move from 0 to hero, the invitation is this: to reclaim your masculine leadership. Because when you step into your masculine leadership, which is available, it's just dormant. It's waiting for you to choose it and grow it and cultivate it. It's available to you. When you decide to step into this mature masculine energy where you are in your heart, you're online, you're present, you're dialed in, you've done the work on yourself, so you can show up and be emotionally available and treat your woman like the queen that she is. When you make that journey, you will be a hero, because that's an energy that we respond to. That's an energy that we want to be around, that we want to soften to, that we want to give our everything to. So this is possible for you guys, but it's a decision point. You have to choose to stop being selfish or stop making it about you, and instead, stop settling or tolerating for less than who you could be. Stop allowing your patterns or your blind spots getting in the way of what's possible for you. And you have to make a decision, right? I want to rise into this greater version of myself. And it's an extremely rewarding journey. And it's part of what David and I do in the Man on Fire community. And we're going to do at an upcoming event. David, do you want to tell the guys a little bit more about this exciting event coming up next month?
Absolutely. But before I do that, I again want to thank you for sharing, from your heart. I could really feel you. And I know that the men felt very seen by how you communicated the deeper needs from the feminine, and how deep down you want to be in full celebration of who we are. You're just hungry for more of our masculine leadership. And all of these things where we stopped leading and where we stopped seeing and we became selfish, the antidote is simple. It is to grow your masculine leadership. And most men fall into that trap of, I'm going to read this in a book, or I'm just going to listen to a podcast or watch a video and I got this, and they're terrified to be vulnerable to actually reach out and ask for help. So I'm talking to the guy right now that recognizes, no, you do need help. You do need support. You do need to be challenged. Iron sharpens iron. And this is exactly why we're putting on our event, the Man on Fire Alive, Seize Your Destiny. Seize it, meaning you draw that line in the sand. You put the sword in the ground and you declare enough of me not showing up in my full potential in the different areas of my life, especially with a woman, especially for my children. And our community and our programs, our seminars, and at Seize Your Destiny, you will learn how to up-level your masculine leadership. You will learn how to drop in and be more present. You will learn how to move from your head into your heart. You will learn how to stop being selfish and what it really means to be selfless and to be of service to her heart. You will learn how to experience someone not just as the labels that you've put on them, meaning that person's mean or that person's nice. You'll actually learn to see somebody for who they are as a soul, to remember the innocence that the person you're married to that right now you might be having problems with, this is someone that at one point was a little girl that had purity, had a playful spirit to her, and then through the conditioning of the culture and through the betrayal, she had to harden. And the same thing happened to you as a little boy. This is your reclamation. This is your opportunity to claim who you are in this world. Guys, don't do this alone. Click the link below. Take up one of the seats because it will be limited. The general admissions and the VIP tickets are going to sell out fast. So make sure you click that link and show up for yourself. Know that you deserve this. My wife shared earlier that she's invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in herself. She was not embellishing. She was being sincere about that. I, for sure, have invested in my lifetime well over $500,000, maybe even $1 million in my personal growth. And the reason is simple. Just like you're instructed on an airplane to put the mask on yourself first because you can't help those around you if you can't breathe oxygen and if you're not safe. And as a man, if you want other people in your life to grow, to change, to have more, you have to bring them an up-level version of yourself. Everyone in your circle wins when you own your light, when you own your power, when you're in your passion, when you're on purpose in your life. Everyone wins. And you know deep down that you're built for this. You know that you deserve this. And for the guy right now that's listening thinking, yeah, but I'm not the problem. My wife is the problem. My suggestion to you is you didn't listen to what was being shared today. You're doing shallow listening and you're not really tuning into the deeper part of your heart and of your soul. This is about you changing, you growing, you transforming, and witnessing in this new version of you. Watch how the woman by your side all of a sudden responds differently. Most of you have blind spots. Most of you are not present to the eradication of the trust through your micro betrayals and macro betrayals. And you keep focusing on, yeah, but what if she's not willing to grow? What if she doesn't want to change? This is about you making a decision first and foremost for yourself as a man. This is about you stepping up. This is about you having the courage to live into your full potential. Come be immersed in an environment for 3 days with myself, my wife, other transformational leaders, a community of men that won't tolerate you shrinking, contracting, and playing small and will hold you to the fire of your true greatness. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of the stands. Get down on the field and get to our event. It's in Irvine, California. It'll be July 22nd through the 24th, and it's 3 days that will truly start to change and transform your life. Don't do it alone, guys. Reach out your hand, get the support, allow yourself to be held accountable, allow yourself to be pushed and challenged and stretched, because deep down, you know you deserve this. And in our community, we are constantly holding each other with so much love and saying, you got more inside of you. And it's not about friendships in our community because friends will sugarcoat it. Friends won't give it to you straight. Family won't give it to you straight because they don't want you to be mad at them. They don't want to lose your love. We form in our community what's called soulships, which means we stand for you in your true potential. And we'll tell you what you need to hear from our heart, where you know that you can't shrink, you can't contract, you can't hide, you can't run away. You will be held to the fire. Hence our brand, Man on Fire. You will be held to the fire of who you truly are. It's time to stoke that fire again. It's time to find who you're made to be. It's time to rise into your true potential. It's time to have more passion, more power, and more purpose. And it's time for you to get your ass into a seat at Claim Your Destiny. Once again, my queen. Oh, and look who's there. My son, Frankie, who's sleeping right now. Thank you again for sharing your gifts and more importantly, for sharing your heart with us. I know that the guys that end up making that decision to come to our Seize Your Destiny event are going to be in for an amazing surprise. They're going to receive so much gifts from you and from the other coaches and from myself. Guys, we love you. We're here to stand for you and give us that opportunity to really serve you. Know that you deserve it. It's with so much love and with so much gratitude. It's your Man on Fire mentor. It's Frankie and my beautiful queen, my wife, Kathleen. We'll see you next time. Bye for now, guys.